Alright guys, M-Tech Guy here. Now then, you're broke, your car's broke, the economy's broken, everything's messed up right now, and it seems like right the way across the Western world, everybody's doing it tough right now. House prices are insane, mortgage rates are through the roof, the cost of living's getting out of control, groceries, petrol, your bills, everything. It's becoming tough for everybody, and I know, I get it guys, because I'm going through it right now myself. I'm living it right now. I'm going through a bit of a rough spot in my life at this current time, and I've got to the point I'm going to have to sell my house, I'm going to have to sell one of my vehicles. Now I'm doing everything I can to hang on to the M5. I absolutely love this car, and it's got a lot of sentimental value to me, this car, so the 1 Series has got to go. We're going to sell the little 1 Series, but that leaves me in a position where I'm going to have to find myself a little cheap, easy to run, cheap to maintain daily driver. Now, I've always maintained that no matter what car you have to buy yourself, doesn't matter what purpose it's got to serve, you might as well buy something that you really like, because you're going to have to put money into it at some point. Talking brakes, tyres, annual inspections, this type of thing, you know, so you might as well get something that you really like. Then you're not going to hate the thing and despise the situation when you have got to fix it or maintain it, whatever. So, of course, I'm a BMW enthusiast, so I'm going to be looking for another BMW. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a series of videos out on how to run, maintain and own a BMW on a budget. So what am I going to buy myself? Well, I've been giving this a lot of thought for quite some time now. Now the E60s are pretty cheap at the minute, and most of them are still in good shape, the ones that have been looked after properly. But do I really want another E60? I don't know. I've got the M5. It would just seem a bit redundant getting another one. It'd be much of a muchness, you know. Of course the M5's a lot different to the regular E60s, but I don't know, I'm not keen on another E60 to be honest, and they've got a lot of modules in them, these cars, so depending on how well the car's been looked after, if some of them modules have seen a bit of water, a bit of dampness at some point, if I have to replace any, it's going to get pretty expensive pretty quickly. So sticking with the idea of a 5 Series, if we go right back, I've always fancied an E34, never owned one before, and I looked around at a few that were for sale, but after giving it a bit of thought, to be honest, I think they could be quite a difficult car to own right now. Now, parts are still relatively easy to get for the engines, but the rest of the car, especially like a wagon with the rear suspension, the way it's set up and everything, I think you're going to struggle to get parts for it. So unless you had a parts car, I think that could be quite a difficult car to own with regards to getting parts as and when you need to carry out repairs. And if it's going to be my daily driver, it's not really going to be suitable. So then moving on a bit, sticking with the 5 Series still, I really fancy an E39. I've never owned one before, but I've always fancied one. Now, which E39 would I go for? Now, the 540s are cool, they're fast, but that V8 engine, although they're all right, in the situation that I'm in right now, do I really want to be opening that can of worms on timing chain guides and this type of thing? They can put quite a strain on the automatic gearboxes as well. Finding a manual here in New Zealand would just be about impossible, so it would end up being an automatic. So I'm not sure if I want to go down that path of the 540, the V8. Now, the 530, that's a different story. The N54 engine, I really like them engines. Now, I've had a couple of E46s in the past and an E53 X5 that had them engines. I had a E46 wagon, 325i, and of course I had my coupe, which is featured on the channel with the 3-litre M54, and then the same with the E53, the X5. I had the straight 6 as well, the M54. I absolutely love them engines. I do have a few spares kicking around at home for them as well, so if I could find a 530, it'd have to be an M Sport, of course. Why? Because I'm M-Tech Guy, that's why. So if I could find an E39 530 M Sport, that would be cool. I could go another E46, to be honest. I really like the E46s, they're really nice cars. relatively easy to maintain, cheap to run. The parts are cheap for them engines as well, compared to like these V10s or even the N52 that's in my 1 Series. So I certainly could go another E46. I've had the wagon and the coupe before, like I say. I actually had 2 E30s, me and my wife at the time. We had the 2 E30s that we daily drove, and then when our first child came along, we needed a bit more boot space for the pushchair. So we got rid of one of the E30s. We got the station wagon, the 325i. That was a nice car. That was a nice car. And then I sold my E30 shortly afterwards, and I got the coupe, used that as a daily driver. So we daily drove E46s at the time. Now this is going back about 12 years, but they were bloody good cars. So yeah, I could go another E46 or E39, another X5, another E53. Now I really like them trucks, but to be honest with you, due to the size and the weight of them, they are pretty heavy on brakes, on suspension components, on tyres. So probably not the best path to go down. And whether you get the V8 or the straight 6, either of them drink fuel. They're really thirsty, and they've got that big 80 litre fuel tank. I don't really fancy filling that up right now with the petrol prices. And I know it's quite ironic that at the minute I'm driving the V10, and a lot of you will probably want to comment in the comment section there saying, well, you know, you drive a V10, you know what you're getting into when you buy one of these cars. You know, why do you buy a thirsty car? And now you're complaining about petrol prices. But what you got to understand, this isn't going to be my daily driver. Although I have daily driven it now and again, it's not the best daily driver with regards to the fuel. And I know it's a V10. I've driven V8s before as a daily driver, but this thing absolutely drinks fuel. And to put that in perspective for you, it drinks more fuel than an old 1970s Chevy Chevelle with a big block motor, single cam, push rod, carbureted, 4-speed manual gearbox. This is fuel injected. It's got 7-speed, essentially what is a manual gearbox behind the hydraulics, and this drinks more fuel than one of them. So it's no bloody joke. So daily driving one of these with the petrol prices as they are at the minute probably isn't the wisest financial decision, although I do absolutely love driving it. So that narrows it down to the E46 or an E39 with the straight 6 engine, the M54 engine. I want a 3 litre one on that power. It's got to be an M Sport with the body kit and everything. So that's what we're going to be looking out for. Now it's got to be a 4-door, because I'm a single dad now. I've got the 2 kids, so I've got one that easy in and out with the kids at the back. A bit of room in the back would be cool. I wouldn't say no to another station wagon. E39 station wagon would be really cool, dad wagon, but they are quite rare. There's a lot more sedans about, so I'm not fussy. Sedan or a wagon, 4-door, straight 6, M54 engine, E39, E46. That's what we're going to be looking out for. So I'm going to keep an eye out what comes up for sale. If I see one come along, I might even ask the owner if they want to sell it. I might be interested. We're going to buy one on condition rather than spec, rather than what options it's got on that, because these cars are getting on a bit now. They're over 20 years old. So I'm going to buy one good condition, and I'm going to show you guys how to own, run and maintain a BMW on a budget. So keep an eye out for the rest of this series. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I'm MTech Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.